I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. We welcome Hikari Nezumi. Hi.
Hello. Thank you for having me on.
Well, we appreciate you coming on. Please introduce yourself to everybody.
I'm a new VTuber. I only started a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, my character is a mouse from space. I didn't really put much thought into it. I just did this thing on a whim.
Mm-hmm.
But surprisingly, I've grown really fast. I'm only starting a month, and it's a lot to handle.
So you didn't expect success to find you so quickly.
Yeah, it's a lot of it is new to me. So yeah.
So were you someone who enjoyed watching VTubers before you got started, or why did you get started?
Yeah, I really enjoyed watching VTubers. Like during 2019, and they started gaining a lot of popularity. I started watching a lot of VTubers, especially Hololive.
Well, I'd say that's one of the most popular in the world right now as a whole. The Hololive folks. Who was your favorite, or did you have a favorite?
Most of them were the ones I watched, like 2019, were mostly like Japanese ones.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say my favorite was Suisei, because she does a lot of songs.
Yeah.
And that's what really got me into VTubers. Them singing covers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's something that's amazing to me. That not only in the ones that are more, of course, have corporations behind them or very, very well established independent ones, but a lot of VTubers are really good singers. and it's nice to be able to bring that up. Are you a singer yourself?
Like, besides singing it for fun,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say so.
Mm-hmm.
Like, right now, I don't really have confidence to sing
Mm-hmm.
songs for, like, my viewers or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I hope I'll be able to do that one day.
Yeah, well, maybe you'll find a song that hits perfect and perfect pitch for you, and you're comfortable with it. It's the biggest thing is being comfortable. Not only you, but your chat as well. How long has it taken you to be comfortable with being on as a VTuber, or are you comfortable yet?
I'm still trying to get more comfortable with it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a lot better now, but I think I need to stream a bit more until I get used to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of get to keep your toe dipped in the water before you commit to a whole lot of things. And that with your start, did it come easily for you? Were you kind of naturally into trying to talk with people and get the game on and do that sort of thing, or did it take a while for you to even get your bearings?
It took me a while to get my bearings, I think, because I'm pretty introverted.
Mm-hmm.
So, meeting so many people online, so suddenly was a lot for me to handle, I think.
But they haven't scared you away, have they?
No. There've been a few messages here and there that were pretty weird, but most of them were, fine.
Yeah, well, and unfortunately, just about everywhere you're going to get some weird messages from time to time, but you are kind of putting yourself out there a little bit, even though you do have the model, and it raises the question for, you said that you were kind of an introvert. Are you ready for a bigger audience at this point?
I think so.
Well,
I find that a lot of my viewers are just lurking in the chat, so they don't really talk.
Yeah.
Most of them are just here to listen to ambient noise or something like that.
Well,
So
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're coming back to for you though.
Yep.
How does that feel?
So, uh, it's new.
Mm.
Like I've never had people um just go on a stream and listen to me talk. Like that's just new to me.
Is it kind of a so, was there any other time in your life before this where you were kind of the focus of attention of some sort of entertaining type of thing?
I don't think so. This
Mm,
is like probably my first time
mm,
um in a situation like that.
yeah. And so it's got to be kind of mind blowing to realize that there are people around the world who are coming in to hear you talk, see what you're doing on stream, and be a part of your community.
It is. Like I've like I've been watching streamers a lot myself,
Hmm.
but I've never thought of doing that myself until recently.
Hmm. With this, has it changed your outlook a little bit off stream? You think you're going to be able to be a little bit more open away from the computer because of what's happening on the computer?
I don't think so.
Mm.
So far my interactions have been um and like my mental health isn't like too affected
Hmm.
by being on social media
Hmm.
because you know how spending a lot of time on here sometimes is like it's like a lot mentally.
Oh yes, yes.
But for me, it's been manageable.
Mm. So you're still in the early stages yet. Have you got an idea what your plans are for the channel? Or are you still trying to figure that out?
I'm still trying to figure that out.
Mm.
Like some days, I don't know what kind of content I would want to stream.
Yeah, and what are you streaming right now when you're on stream?
Mostly a variety of games from like Pokemon, Lethal Company, and like pretty much anything.
Mm.
And a lot of the stuff have been with other people, but I'd like to do more content on my own.
Mm. Do you find it easier with other people right now, or do you
Yeah,
find yeah, so they can
yeah, that's
take some of the pressure off of you?
yeah,
Mm.
and that's a big reason why I think I need to do more solo stuff as well
Mm.
to get used to like um, talking on my own to my audience.
Mm. Is that hard for you to do? Uh, when you come on stream, you realize there's people there. They start saying hi to you in chat. What goes through your mind?
I think at first it was a bit awkward
Uh,
to like talk to people in chat,
mm-hmm.
but like the more I've done it, the more I get used to.
Mm. And that would have been something that you would have done in like walking down the street, seeing somebody waving hi to you. You wouldn't stop to talk to them very long.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Well, I don't blame you there. I've seen some of the people that are walking around the street these days. I wouldn't want to talk to them either. There's all sorts of reasons for that. Um, the collaboration that you're doing, are these folks that you knew before you started VTubing, or were there people that you met afterwards?
Oh, these are people I met after VTubing.
Mm,
I think like the only people in real life that know about me doing this is my family and a few close friends.
mm, And so these are you. Where did you meet these folks to collaborate with? Did you just kind of put out the collaborations wanted sign?
Yeah, pretty much. And for some reason, that post blew up,
Mm.
and that's how like I'm like suddenly at like 2,000 followers.
That's pretty amazing, isn't it? 2,000 followers. Um, that's a you can put 10 people in front of you, and I'd be scared to death to talk to 10 people. Now there's a possibility that if all of the followers showed up, you at least had 2,000 people, different people, coming to your channel at one point.
I think that would be a lot because 2,000 followers on Twitter I have right now,
Mm-hmm.
they're not like consecutively on all of them.
Right.
Like are on, but so it being live with 2,000 people, that would be a whole nother story.
It wouldn't make you hide behind something else, would it?
I don't think so, but it would be a lot to take in.
When you're playing a game like Lethal Company, is it easier or harder to interact with chat while that's going on for you?
I think depending on how chaotic it is, but most that game is usually chaotic,
Mm-hmm.
and my chat is pretty quiet, so like it's pretty easy to like manage.
Mm. Yeah, and
I think it'll be a lot harder if I had like an even bigger chat. I
mm,
think.
yeah. And Pokemon, which Pokemon are you playing right now?
It was like
Okay,
I think it was like Pokemon Fire Red,
okay.
but it
So,
was like a kind of like a ROM hack.
oh yeah, I think a lot of people are playing different ROM hacks with it, but that gives you a little time in case something does come up to interact with chat. You don't have to keep constant focus on what's going on. So that's a good one to be streaming. And so have you always been a Pokemon player?
Uh, I used to play a lot of Diamond and Pearl,
Uh huh.
but like a lot of the newer generation ones,
Yeah.
I really haven't got a chance to play any of
Mm.
them.
Has it been? Um, do you think that they may have diluted it a little bit and made it kind of stretch the limits of the game with the most recent releases?
I think so.
Well,
I think uh the Switch itself
mm,
can only handle so much.
right. Yeah. And with that, it's when you're trying to, there's a lot of these games that are coming out now that are more. They could give you the base game and then they add DLCs to it. And Pokemon really doesn't do that sort of thing. They don't come up with entire games to go from next one. Um, you think that hurts them in trying to get new stuff off the ground?
Uh, I think DLC has just become a thing
Mm,
people are used to in gaming,
right.
and like I myself don't like that,
Mm,
but it seems like since it makes the most money, that's what they'll keep going with.
mm. Well, it does, and it kind of ensures that the people who have the game will keep playing it. If they really like it, they'll try all the DLCs that you put out.
Yeah,
Like the Fallout games have so many DLCs, and Genshin Impact for crying out loud.
yeah.
I think
There's
Genshin
a
I think Genshin Impact's older than me. I'm pretty
yeah,
old.
there's a lot of games that are like uh, live update services.
Yeah, yeah. And this with what you got right now, are there any games that you would like to try online that you haven't done yet?
Probably a lot more like horror games.
Mm. Are you good with
Like
horror games?
uh, I think so. Like I don't really get that scared
Mm.
playing those games, but
Oh,
like I think it would be fun to stream something like that.
are you good with jump scares?
Yeah, I've gotten used to them.
You don't just absolutely scream and fall over when one of those happens, like I would.
Like maybe a few years ago I would, but after playing a lot of them, it's like you get used to it.
Show us what you really got. Just jump at me,
Yeah,
do something with it. Now I don't know.
yep.
I don't know if I could do a lot of horror games. Are there any particular horror games you're kind of looking at?
Probably a lot of stuff from Resident Evil.
Mm, mm. Well, that's definitely constitutes horror games. That's for sure. Something like a Dead by Daylight or something along those.
Tried Dead by Daylight, but I don't think I'm good enough.
Mm. I know I'm not good enough.
Yeah,
I just be hanging on a hook the whole time.
yeah.
Like,
That was basically me when I play.
is there is there a game that you enjoy streaming the most? That if it says if you had a time where you could only do one game on a stream at one time, what would that game be at this point?
It's hard to say because it's hard for me to stick with one game.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I would just stream whatever I feel like that day.
Mm. So it could be a mix of anything, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like for me, when someone asks me if I have a favorite of something, it's hard for me to say
Mm.
because I like a lot of different things.
Yeah. Depends on the mood, I guess.
Yeah.
Does that make it kind of tough to keep a schedule, or are you doing a lot of hit and miss, stream whenever you want to type of situations?
Oh yeah, it has an impact on my stream. I think
Mm.
I don't really have a schedule right now,
Mm-hmm.
so I just stream whenever I feel like it.
Mm. Well, I mean, to do that and still get 2,000 followers, that's pretty darn good. I mean,
Yeah, I think so.
folks are looking out for you and wanting to come back. It's a lot of people can watch a lot of different games played by a lot of different folks, but when they come back, it's for the person playing the game,
Yeah.
and that's what's happening for you. It's good to see that, and obviously you're enjoying yourself with it. Otherwise, you wouldn't keep doing it. But and it happens. It's happened so fast. This part, if you hit a I wouldn't say a slump, but more of a plateau as far as bringing people in, how would that affect you?
It could affect me much because I'm mostly doing this for fun.
Mm-hmm. So it wouldn't be like a really disappointing event where you might scuff around a little bit and rethink what you're doing.
Uh, Not at all. I don't think so.
Mm.
Because I'll still have the people that would want to interact with me anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just happy with that.
Mm. Excellent, excellent. So if you got, I know you're just getting started and everything, but is there a big goal for your channel? Is there something you want to do to kind of define what your channel is all about?
Say, I'm not really sure.
You didn't think so?
Uh, it's hard for me to have goals for my stream right now
Mm.
because I still don't know where I want to go with it
Mm.
with my channel.
Mm. Oh, you still want to kick it around a little bit before you finalize it in stone, anyway.
Yeah.
Mm. How about how about your model? How did you come up with that?
Right now, what I'm using is a pre-made one because I
Mm-hmm.
can't afford uh, an actual one.
Right.
So like a lot of times, I just end up using a PNG
Mm-hmm.
of like my original character,
Mm-hmm.
and the model itself, I use it for like big streams, like collabs or like longer streams.
Mm. So you kind of got two different model type setups.
Yeah.
Mm. So would you like to use your original model that you put together, have that as your streaming model eventually when you have it rigged up, that sort of thing?
Yeah.
Mm.
Eventually.
Mm. That's good. At least you have an idea as far as that goes, and that's something that's a positive coming up for your channel. Uh, have you had a situation where the collaborations that you've done are kind of taking away from what you want to do? Is it? Have you had a situation where it doesn't really fit right?
I had a few,
Mm.
not really any specific ones,
Mm-hmm.
but I think as I do more collabs, I think I'd be more comfortable with people I've already done it with and become friends with.
Mm. Yeah, and at least
Or
you'll have
else,
an
yeah,
idea then what they're up to.
yeah.
It,
'Cause it feels unnatural
mm,
if it's with someone I just met.
yeah, and you get to situations too where you can be friends with somebody and be super friendly with them in messages and talking off the air, but it just doesn't work when it's going on. And that's not anybody's fault.
Yeah.
That just happens, and you have to learn to deal with that too. But you're so early in it. I mean, obviously you're a little further as follower wise than you thought you'd be at this point. Is there anything else that you're surprised with since you've become a VTuber?
Surprised with like how many there are
Well,
YouTubers.
yeah, and folks coming to see you, and was that getting that many followers? Has that helped people? Have you had people come to you and ask to collaborate with you?
Uh, I have,
Mm-hmm.
but I've also had people too scared to message me
Oh,
because of my numbers.
mm,
So I have to keep making posts regarding how like your numbers don't really matter to me.
mm-hmm.
It's if we vibe or not during collapse.
Yeah, it's tough for some folks, especially folks who are early on. They'll try to get in with somebody else and think it's for I guess the word is clout these days,
Yeah,
which I'm not really sure it's being used correctly when they use that word. But um, so it'd be very tough for folks to ask somebody who has a bigger audience, and imagine they're a little intimidated. Would you say you're an intimidating person?
not at all.
And they when someone says, "Can I collaborate with you?" No.
No, it's nothing like that.
A big hammer comes down. Wham! No, no, no.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Yeah. So what would if someone were to say, I really want to collab with you, um, and how should they approach you if they want to do that?
Usually, either they would message me or me, and then we would just do something offline,
Mm-hmm.
like play a few games or two and talk. Then after that, it's usually easiest to tell if I would get along with them or not.
That's really good. I hope people are listening with that because we do have a lot of VTubers who listen to this these interviews for kind of tips on what they do. That is a great way to do it. Spend some time with them away from your channel or their channel, and just get to know how they play a little bit, how they respond to things. That that made it much easier for you to um, establish who you would really like to collaborate with.
I think it has.
Well, and the once you do get the bigger audiences and more people coming in to collaborate with you, and if you keep at this pace, you're going to be huge by the end of the year. um, how is that going to affect you? I mean, are you, with more success comes more demands on your time and more demands on from your audience. Are you ready for that?
I think so.
Mm. Yeah,
But I guess I won't know until it actually happens.
yeah,
So we'll see.
yeah. What would you think would be something that you would kind of pause and take a step back and say, well, maybe I should do something else. Is there something that you really dislike about VTubing at this point?
So far, I have no complaints.
Mm. Everything's doing. It's not taking up too much of your time, personal time.
Uh, Not really, because uh, I don't. I only stream like twice a week,
Mm-hmm.
so right now it's manageable.
Mm-hmm.
But I think with um me getting more attention and just talking to people taking up more of my time,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's when I have to like make a more uh make a more better schedule. I think.
Mm-hmm. Stay more strict with your schedule and
Yeah,
not just for the audience's sake, but for your own sake, I'd imagine.
yeah, especially for my own sake.
Yeah. That way you don't you have the right amount of energy to do it. And you don't schedule something else on top of it, and it becomes a priority. Where is streaming right now as a priority for you? Is it a huge part of your life, or is it just starting to be?
I think it's a huge part of my life
Mm-hmm.
because I spend a lot of time online.
Mm-hmm.
So like this is kind of like a second job,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't get really paid for it.
Yeah, yeah. My wife's been asking, says, when are you going to get paid for those interviews you've done? I go, well, never. Deal with it, hon. Never. I'm not looking for money. I'm looking for enjoying myself, and that sounds like what you're doing right now. You're enjoying yourself. Am I right
Yeah,
on that?
yeah,
Mm,
I think so.
that's good. Now you got some stuff coming up in the future. If you got some type of event, you make sure and let us know so we can update everybody on that. Okay? We can get that on for you. We're going to have all of the links that we could find for you up in the description for the interview, and folks can check out to see what Hikari Nezu has going on. Thank you so much for coming on. You're a great guest, and I appreciate you coming on.
No problem. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.